What's up, wrestling fans? Ratt Man, Rich Fulmer, and this is SuperKick, the only place where offenses will be taken and 0 fucks will be given. And I don't give a crap. WrestleMania is coming up this weekend, and we're seeing a lot of stuff. I just want to touch on one thing real quick. Undertaker, too fucking old. It's not that he's too old, because actually he's younger than Sting, and Sting is versus Triple H. The only match that I would want to see, I don't cover WWE stuff. I follow it, but I'm not covering it on this. I'd rather see Sting versus Triple H than Undertaker versus anybody. Let me tell you something. Versus CM Punk, that should have been his last match. 29 should have been his last WrestleMania. It's not that he's old. He shows his age because he's broken. He's just beaten up. He's been destroyed. Left and right, he's been destroyed. 21-1 versus Brock Lesnar. And this guy now, Brock Lesnar, which brings me to the next subject. Brock Lesnar is now WWE Champion. He's been WWE Champion since he suplexed the shit out of John Cena. And then he doesn't defend his title. Then he defends it at Royal Rumble. Doesn't defend it again until WrestleMania. This is what bugs me. This is what bugs me about mainstream wrestling. You've got Undertaker coming back for another match. Why? Why come back for a match you don't have anything to prove? You already broke your streak. It's not like you're going to go another 20 matches in another 20 years. I don't think your body even has another year left in it. Sit back, collect Social Security, come back for a Raw reunion or a Raw something. WWE is always doing something on Raw with the girls. They dancing like this, Hoda and Kathy Lee. You get the point. Bunnies, jackrabbits, alligators, jackhammers, Hall of Fame that doesn't really matter too much to anybody but us fans anyway. And at least that's one thing that they give us. Is WWE gives us one thing, and that's a Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame is good, but it doesn't really matter. Come on. Kevin Nash, Rikishi. What has Rikishi done in his time? Part of the Samoan SWAT team. Part of the head shrinkers. I get that. Okay, fine. You got one up on me. But the Sultan, let me tell you something. I don't like Rikishi. I didn't like Rikishi when he was a Sultan. I don't like him. I think he's a douchebag. He comes from that family of what I call the Golden Boys. Roman Reigns is a Golden Boy. Roman Reigns, what has he done in his career? When was the last time Roman Reigns even held a title? Was he tag team champion at one time in WWE? Maybe so.
Yeah.
But he has never held... I guess we got to start somewhere. And why not take the Golden Boy from the Golden family and bring him down and make him face Brock Lesnar? You know what I saw on Raw? And yeah, I did watch it. Oh my God. I didn't watch the whole thing. Thank God. I don't have hair. Do you see I don't have hair? Do you know why I don't have hair? Because I shave it. That's why. It just doesn't have anything to do with anything. I would have scalped myself with a butcher knife if I would have watched Raw. I'm sorry. I know. Don't bitch about it if you don't watch it. Don't bitch about it if you don't watch it. You know what? I follow it. I follow it enough. I can't stand the visual. It's like nails on a chalkboard. This is what WWE is to me. And I'm sorry to your fans, but you know what? This is SuperKick. Like it or leave it. I don't care. Offense is taken. No fucks are given. The reason why I'm saying this is because Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble. He got booed. I'm saying he got booed. So they took The Rock to come out and save him, and he still got booed. Come on. And then you face Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. The winner takes on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Rumor has it that Brock Lesnar signed with WWE. I am saying rumor. It could be true. From what I understand, this is true. This means that Brock Lesnar is going to be WWE World Heavyweight Champion a little bit longer. What's the point? Don't you think it's counterproductive to put the major title? Let's look at this. The Iron Sheik, Bret Hart. I don't like Hulk Hogan, but I've got to mention him. Hulk Hogan. Bruno Sammartino. Bob Backlund. Shawn Michaels. Kevin Nash. The list goes on and on of great champions who have been in the ring, who have been world champion. They're taking that and they're spitting on it. They are spitting on it. Why do I say this? Because Brock Lesnar only defends the title once every year. When was the last time he defended the title? I said it at the top of the show. Royal Rumble. When's the last time before that? It was September. It was when he suplexed the shit out of John Cena. Come on. I don't like John Cena. I am not a fan of John Cena. But at least he defended his title sometimes. You know, he defended it. At least I think he defended it at least once a month. Something like that. Some crazy difference. You know, it's counterproductive. It's like when Hulk Hogan was WCW champion during the NWO era, the Attitude Era of WWE. He never defended his title. And when he did, he lost it. He lost it to Sting. They took it off of him and they gave it back to Hogan. Kevin Nash, two-finger poke of death. Goldberg. Good match. But that's it. And then he defended it a few more times. What? Against Roddy Piper. He had it. And then Macho Man interfered. So you got this ladder match coming up at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan and a few other guys, which I really don't give a shit about. And this is going to be for the Intercontinental title. From my understanding, from the rumors that I'm getting, that Daniel Bryan's going to win the Intercontinental title. Fine. You know, two people, I'm going to say this, two people who deserve to be in the main event at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins. Why? I'm not a fan of Seth Rollins. Never really was. I think he has some talent. I think as a high flyer, he's got it. Is he into indie high flying material? No. Again, another guy that's out there that hasn't done nothing. What about Dean Ambrose? Well, I know we're talking about the Shield here. What about Dean Ambrose? Dean Ambrose? CZW? This guy deserves to be in the main event at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins. Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose. Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler. I'll throw that out there. Either way you look at it, Brock Lesnar does not deserve to be in the Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar does not deserve to be in the main event at WrestleMania. Say, back in the 90s, NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, was trying to boost themselves back up after Shane Douglas threw the title down and proclaimed himself ECW champion. He spit on the belt, threw the belt down. From that point on, I did not like Shane Douglas. I was a fan before that, until then. And then they took the title and they found another champion in Chris Candido. May his soul rest in peace. But he was a shitty champion. He was okay wrestler, but he was a shitty champion, and that's all there is to it. And then Dan the Beast Severn broke on the scene. This guy was UFC champion and NWA champion. This guy took the belt. Let's say Brock Lesnar does what he did. Takes the WWE title, because God forbid if Brock Lesnar goes back to the UFC, it's a big deal. We all know the problems between Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar because Brock wants to go back to the UFC. Let's just say Brock took the belt, took it to UFC. Not defended it. He's not going to defend it. But he's going to boost the prestige of it. Dan the Beast Severn, and I shouldn't compare the two, but it's a crossover, no matter how you look at it. Dan the Beast Severn is the only professional wrestler, UFC fighter, to ever take the NWA title, I'm going to say professional wrestling title, MMA title, and combine them and carry them both. This guy didn't only just... They were separate belts, but he took them to restaurants with him. Everywhere he went, the National Wrestling Alliance title went with him, including Ultimate Fighting Championships. And when he won the UFC title, he took that back to the NWA shows and held both belts up with pride. That's something that I'd like to see Brock Lesnar do. Right now, I'm sure many of you would agree, the WWE title means nothing. Nothing right now. Because it's on a part-time fighter, part-time wrestler. I know, you gotta do it. It's what? Bust for business. But not really, because I'm getting tired of it, and I don't even watch it. So I know that you fans are getting tired of it. I know this because I read the threads. I pay attention. I'm a wrestling fan. I don't like WWE. I don't watch it. I would rather gouge my eyes out with a knife. Rusty knives, rusty stones, than to watch a WWE program. It is what it is. It's got to be... Somebody's got to watch it, I guess. So everybody else does. And I follow it. I'm constantly seeing people getting tossed out of the arena because they're dressed like legends from your company. And people losing their signs. People getting kicked out because of their signs. Why do that? What about freedom of speech? What about your fans who want to see you? I understand. I get it. You don't want to be reminded of the Chris Benoits or Alberto El Patron winning the AAA title and going off into the indies and kicking the shit out of everybody. Because let me tell you something, TNA did not like it when AJ Styles was kicking the shit out of everybody all around the world, and he's still doing it, and Al Patron is doing the same exact thing. It was a good trend. AJ Styles started it. Al Patron is the next one in line. Let's say Dolph Ziggler did that. Could it happen? Maybe Daniel Bryan will do that. Go back to Bryan Danielson and do that. I would like to see something better as a WrestleMania main event than the two tug-of-war combatants, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. It's mine! No, it's mine! It's mine! No, it's mine! You're going to really end a show like that? A go-home show like that? You're out of your freaking mind. I'm telling you, it's not a good idea. So... here's the rumors that I'm hearing. Like I said, Daniel Bryan is going to win the ladder match. He'll have the Intercontinental title. Good. It's a good idea. Don't think there's anybody better on the roster that could hold the IC title than Daniel Bryan. Just hope that he's booked right and he defends it. John Cena is going to beat Rusev. That's another rumor, and I'm hearing he wins the United States title. Fine. Whatever. I'm not a Cena fan at all. I don't want to see anything around Cena's waist because he's already been there. He's already done that. I don't give a shit. It's like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan won the title. Big deal, brother. I don't really give a shit. Oh yeah, Raw. I watched this video just a little bit ago. Curtis Axel comes out. What you gonna do, brother? Axelmania rips his shirt off. Goes to punch Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan puts up it. He does that signature. Punches the guy in the head. Punches Axel in the head. Falls down. Go get him, Snoop Puppy Dog or Snoop Lion, Snoop Cockroach. I don't even know what he's called anymore. Snoop Dogg, better get a job. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, and to the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door. You get it. Snoop Lion, Snoop Cockroach, Snoop Cat, Snoop Baggy Bang. Boo. I don't really know what to call him anymore. Snoop Mania ran wild on Curtis Axel, threw him out of the ring. And he rips off his shirt and reveals Hulkamania. That deserved a super kick, I'm telling you right there. and then he says Zeus. Somebody says Zeus is out back. Hogan says, "Oh, you owes me money, brother." Who gives a fuck? Probably bought crack from him before, cocaine from him before. You guys probably blew it and forgot that he paid you back, and now you guys are square and you can rub lotion on your daughter again. That's a super kick. Okay, so let's just move on to WWE because I got better things to cover. Let's cover TNA. I did say it's a super kick where offenses are taken and 0 fucks are given. TNA. This past Friday was a pretty good show. But they're taping ahead of schedule, like a month ahead of schedule. And they have a live show coming up. It's going to be on TV. It's going to be a live show, going to be coming up in May. So we got another month. So we're going to be at Orlando for the next month and a half. Because they're right now they're in Orlando, or they were in Orlando, taping. So that's going to carry us until May. And then May, I think it was 4th, I think they said is going to be the next live show. Why don't do more live shows? Let me tell you something. I remember back in the day, WWF Superstars, that was a super kick. WWF Superstars was, a few weeks in advance. Thunder was always, WCW Thunder, that was always a few weeks in advance. TNA had done a few weeks in advance before. But when you tape a month in advance and then you do a pay-per-view that's revealing, I knew Rockstar Spud, she lost the hair versus hair match. How did I know that? Well, because I watched Joker's Wild pay-per-view one night only, and he came out with no hair. If you're gonna tape a month in advance, pay attention to what you're doing, because you're really making yourself look bad. See? Champion Kitty! Just don't do it. Rockstar Spud lost the hair versus hair match versus EC3. let me tell you something. This is part of my problem. I don't like EC3 at all. I don't like his character. Yeah, okay, I'll give it up to him for having a little bit of talent. Him and Matt Cross during this TNA shutdown thing, this rebooting thing, Rockstar, EC3 tag team with Matt Cross. We all know Matt Cross is Son of Havoc. Shh, but don't say anything. It's under a mask. Whoy. And then EC3 has something wrong with his arm. They keep trying to document it on broadcast, but they say it's none of his business. It was a independent wrestling accident that happened. I don't know what happened, but it's documented. Anyway, he's really injured for real. It was in a match. It was somewhere along the line. He got hurt. I know that he's been tag teaming. I know that he's been doing indie shows. Whatever. I don't care. I don't like him. I don't like what he's done. He hasn't done anything in professional wrestling, and they put him in as number 5 in the rankings. 2-3 weeks in a row. I don't really care. He's not worth anything. I don't think, because he doesn't do anything. And you blame that on booking. You can blame it on booking if you want. Fine. I'll accept blaming on booking for that. Doesn't really make sense. I will blame booking for that too. But he's ranking number 5 and number 4 in the World Heavyweight title picture. I'm going to tell you something. Bobby Lashley already destroyed him once. He's going to destroy him again. He would destroy him again. Kurt Angle now World Heavyweight Champion, and that was this past week's main event. That was good. Past 2 weeks before that, 3-4 weeks before that, the show's been kind of drying out. It's like you go out mudding, you go out roll around in the mud, and it feels really, really good. And then you come home, you take clothes off, and you put them up on a thing. You go back, you take a shower, and then you come back and you put the same muddy clothes on, underwear and all. That is what TNA was turning into for a long time. Come on, a hair versus hair match. You had the last man standing match at the beginning of the top of the show, and then you put a hair versus hair match. It was counterproductive. It was stupid. Yeah, we seen blood and marked out because of the blood, and maybe to me Robert Fair Jr. was right. To me, the blood made it. That made it. I can't help it. And by the way, I want to thank Robert Fair Jr. and Tony Motown Allen from Indie to TNA Wrestling Group, Independent Group, and Motown's, yes, Tony Motown Allen's Motown Wrestling Group for the help on the card for WrestleMania. I didn't get the whole card, but I want to give you guys a shout out before I go any further. Thank you for the information. And now we're gonna move on. Sorry. Check out those 2 groups. You won't be disappointed. As long as you're not offensive. If you're 18 or older, go for it. If you're 21 and older, go for it. So TNA, really, I mean, I'm not a fan of Tyrus. I said his name right. I'm not a fan of Trainwreck. I'm just not a fan of him. And they're boosting him as this big badass with an Asiatic spike, and you know, he's not really much. He doesn't do anything. He's got that. It's a stupid look, and this is what I do when I watch it. Because he stinks. I will not take a shower for 3 weeks, and I will stuff my face completely into my shirt like this with my arms up so I can smell the odor, and I will open up my pants so that I can smell that odor, and I would be happier to do this after 3 weeks of not showering than to watch anything with Trainwreck in it and EC3. I'm going to tell you something. I'm hoping that this is done. I'm hoping that the Rockstar Spud versus EC3, C3PO, and Trainwreck Tigress, I hope it's done. I hope we see the last of it. Rockstar Spud comes out Friday night and pins Low Key for the X Division title. Really? You're giving this guy another thing to fucking run around about? Woo, woo, woo! I don't really care. You know what? Rockstar Spud belongs in WWE. Back there where they think they're wrestling, but they're really not. They're just crawling around the ring like the little demon. Look at my butt! You want to see my butt? Look at my butt! Look at! You can see my butt! Woohoo! 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 That's what the divas do. That's what pisses me off. That's what Rockstar Spud does. He doesn't do anything. Rockstar Spud, Dixie Carter, Ethan Carter. I don't like any of it. Mandrews might be kind of. I understand they want to get the little guys, but why are they getting the really little guys? Cheeseburger. Why not just get Cheeseburger from Ring of Honor and bring him in? He's about the size of Rockstar Spud and Mandrews. Really? Professional wrestling is not... Mainstream professional wrestling is not what it should be. I'm going to say that. Lucha Underground, they're coming up. ROH, staying the same, man. They've kept their roots. They're growing. You're getting bigger, becoming mainstream. But they're not stupid. They're not stupid yet. And ROH, I hope, never gets bad. Not TNA bad, not WWE bad. And I'm sorry, I've got to talk about TNA in a bad way because the past 3 weeks has been shit. I mean, last week's show was good, but let's see what this week brings. Let's see if this week keeps me coming back. I'm going to keep coming back to watch TNA. I'm not going to stop watching TNA. I'm not going to say stop watching TNA. But it's not as good as the Independents. It's not as good as NWA Midwest. And any NWA territory for that matter. Not as good as New Japan, which is mainstream in Japan, or AAA. It's not as good as Lucha Underground is becoming. Last week's Lucha Underground was off the hook. Yeah, because of the blood, but also because it was just good. It was a great match. Great show, I should say. Let's see what happens next tomorrow night, Wednesday night. El Rey Network is going to be Lucha Underground. Destination America Friday night for TNA and Wrestle fucking Mania. WrestleMania. Whatever. It's not good. It's not going to be good. I'm going to tell you something. 2CW Living on the Edge. Great matches already lined up. Go see that. NWA Midwest Insurrection is April 4th, 2 days before my birthday. Check this out. I was online, and I get tagged. Jay Martin from NWA Midwest tags me in posts all the time, and 19 others. So I'm not the only one. I'm not a special guy. I'm just a fan. That's all I am. Just a fan who likes to stand in front of the camera and fucking rant. He tags me in his post. War Machine versus Nitro. It's going to be a good one. April 4th at Insurrection. They just did their countdown shows. 2 of their countdown shows. Really good. Really, really good shows. There's epic written all over it. Great card. And then you have Living on the Edge 2CW. You've got all over the place. There's women wrestling. There's Shimmer, Shine, so many different independent shows, all over the world. Wrestle One, everywhere. Lucha Underground is growing. NWA is growing everywhere. NWA. CZW is growing. Go support your independent promotions. So let me tell you something. These mainstream things that's going on behind us, in front of us, they're not that good. I'm sorry, they're losing it. WWE lost me a long time ago, and I know I've covered a lot of it. But really, who wants to see WrestleMania? $9.99. Is it worth $9.99? Why take a $1 billion company and lose money and wonder why you're losing money when you're only charging the fans $9.99 for a WrestleMania that you could probably get $60 a pop? I wonder why you lost money. And I understand. I believe that companies should do a free show. Korn, the band Korn. Some of you know Korn. They did a show in the 90s for CBGBs. It was free. It was a small venue, no bigger than, I think it was smaller than my home that I live in now. It was a small venue, but it was free to the company, free to the fans, free to everybody. You could come there. I would like to see that. Free show, independent company puts on a free show for us fans. It's their gift to us because we support them. They should support us. I understand it. So I get the $9.99 concept. The network was a good idea, but really you can only watch everything so many times. I had it for the first 6 months. They rate my bank account $9.99 every month, even though I couldn't afford it. It's taking my last $10. After that, was it? I don't remember what it was. John Cena won the World Heavyweight title, and I'm done. 14-time World Heavyweight Champion, 15-time World Heavyweight Champion. Let me tell you something. You're never going to get 22. Ric Flair, 22. And this is another thing that pisses me off about mainstream wrestling. They don't recognize the major titles that other people has held. Scott Hall. Did you know that Scott Hall was once a World Heavyweight Champion? 3 times. Not WWE, not WCW, not TNA. But he's held other World Heavyweight titles from all over the world. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Alberto Patron. Yep. Roman Reigns. Nah. Brock Lesnar. He's held some major titles all over the world. No, they talk about that, but they don't talk about other things. That's more important. They give the title to this guy, and then he plays tug of war with a freaking Neanderthal. The Golden Boy is what I call him. He should be Gold Dust. And who puts title defenses on dark matches? It's going to happen at WrestleMania again. It's what they did last year. It's what they do every year. It's what they always do. Mainstream wrestling is really getting on my nerves. I will always watch TNA. I will always be a diehard TNA fan. And let me just say before I end this, let's put a definition on mark. Because a lot of you people out there are calling me a mark, or somebody who you've got the whole mark thing confused of what you. I used to be a carny. I used to work for the carny. Back in the 90s, I used to work for the carnival. And a mark is not somebody who talks shit about the carnival. No. A mark is a target audience. I am a target audience. I am a mark. I am proud to be a mark. Because if it wasn't for me being a mark, you wouldn't be calling me a mark. Do you understand what I'm saying? There would be no AJ Styles. There would be no Daniel Bryan. There would be no John Cena. There would be no Brock Lesnar. There would be no Hulk Hogan. There never would have been a Hulk Hogan. No Big John Studs. No Andre the Giants. No Arn Andersons. No Bobby Roodes or EYs. No Samoa Joes. Every wrestler, every company puts out their product to target a mark. A mark. Not a mark. Not a dash. Not a colon. Not a mark on the screen. No. A mark. On your marks. Get it? Get it? My mark is a target audience. If you're watching this, you're a mark. That's it. You're my mark. I want to target you as fans to subscribe to my YouTube page. I want you as marks to like the Ratt Report. I want you, the marks, to join Indie 2 TNA for a wrestling group. You're a mark. I am targeting you as a mark. Do you get it? Do you get it? That we're fans. We're all fans. We have the right to bitch. We have the right to complain about a bad product. We have the right to say, man, I'm so sick and tired of WWE always putting Brock Lesnar and John Cena as World Heavyweight Champions and not have, Alberto Del Rio as a champion, or give it to Daniel Bryan, but then he goes out and you don't give it back to him again. You don't give him another shot. I really believe that Daniel Bryan deserves a shot over Roman Reigns. The TNA marks, you get the idea. You get the idea. If you're a mark, you're a fan. If you're not a mark, then you're just a douchebag running around in the group saying, oh, you're an idiot, or you're a mark because, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Well, fuck you, dickhead. You know what? I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna keep right on watching it. Why? Because I'm a mark. I don't like EC3. Do you know why I don't like EC3? Because it gets under my skin. You know what? I didn't like Jerry Lawler back in the 90s or the late 80s because he got under my skin. And that's exactly what a heel is. I am a mark. They are targeting me and you, the fans, as marks. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Do you get it? We're marks. I'm a mark. You're a mark. If you're not a mark, you're a fucking douchebag. If you're a fucking douchebag, then turn your radio off, turn your TVs off, and exit all the groups. Unlike all the wrestling pages, because you're just a keyboard warrior. Keyboard warrior. Oh, you're an idiot. No, I'm not an idiot. I'm a freaking fan who cares about what I watch. I complain because I want to see a better product, because I'm spending the money to watch this stuff, to have cable, which I don't have cable. But I'm spending the money to have internet just so I can watch wrestling. If that's the only thing, I'll enjoy porn too. Big freaking deal. We're targets. We're marks. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're not a mark, you're a douchebag. If you're a douchebag, turn everything off and get out of the wrestling business, because you don't know shit about nothing. Marks are fans. I'm a fan. People are fans. My children are fans. You get the picture. You get the picture. Former and you just been SuperKick.